What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Simulation for the Nation, and welcome back to the West Coast, where today we are just heading back from dropping off some more pallets of pellets. We've got a busy day of lots of little different tasks to do today. Like I say, we've sold some more straw pellets this morning. We're heading back down to the deeper one, our way back up to Little Woolhope, or back down to the dealership, sorry, because we're picking up some baler twine for the big pack, because we were in the process of servicing that up, getting it ready to go. So we need to go down there, pick that up. We'll finish up servicing the baler. Once we finish servicing the baler, we've got the headlands of that the top field down at Little Woolhope farm that's been ploughed just to tidy up, and then we're going to go and do some office work after that. So lots to do. So we're just kind of making our way back on over. We'll go down to the depot. We'll fill up with our bales or pallets of baler twine, and then we'll be in a good place to get back on up to Woolhope and get this baler ready to go. Right now we are just waiting for another week or so for the grass to grow. It's had a couple of days ago we finished off applying nitrogen boost to all of those fields, so it's in a good growing condition now. We just need another good solid week of good growing, maybe a little bit of rain mixed in there just to provide us with a little bit extra moisture kick, and we'll be good to go. So right now, like I say, we're just going to head on over to the dealership, and I think I bought 5, maybe half a dozen pallets of baler twine, which should see us through a lot of the season. We'll probably have to get some more before we start with on the straw, but for now, for the hay alone, we should have enough, I would suggest. But yeah, we'll see. We can always order in some more. It's expensive, so you don't want to order too much at once, really. But yeah, we're going to park up here. Fortunately, there's no cars here or even a train yet, so we'll just swing into the dealership and we'll see how we're looking. So what I need to do now is see if I can find a man on a forklift somewhere, and we'll get these loaded onto the back of the truck, onto the back of my trailer. Sorry. So let's see if we can find someone. I need to also undo my straps here first. Lovely stuff. Alright, I'll go and see if I can find someone, and I'll come back and we'll get this all loaded up. Okay then, guys, so there's a young lad on the forklift today. I asked him if he'd mind me filming him, and he wasn't really too keen on that, so we gotta respect the gentleman's wishes. Let's get these strapped down. So there we go, we've got our 5 pallets on. Should keep us going for a while, like I say. What we're gonna do now is get on out of here. Haven't got time to sit around and talk all day. So, I might just see if I can back this into this shed here. Need to get ourselves swung around, and then we'll get on out of here and get back to the yard. Perfect. Alright, and so I'm going to drive on back up to Little Woolhope, and we'll see you when we get back up there. Rightio, everybody, we are just coming up the drive into Little Woolhope. A very quick and easy drive across the country there, so it didn't take us very long, but instant free as well, which is always a delight. So I got the baler on the back of the Vario, and it's parked up in the workshop there for now. So we're going to try and get this trailer as close as we can, so we don't have to do too much walking around with all of these baler twine balls. So let's see what we can do here. Looking like at the front there, a little bit more room, take advantage of that. Okay, let's go and have a look, see what we're looking like. Don't want to crash into anything. A great deal of room. Okay, so I believe I might go and find a pallet here, and we'll just get a pallet put down on the floor, and we'll empty one of these off here. I don't know how many bales it's going to take right now, so we need to have a look-see and see what we can manage to do. Okay, who needs a telehandler when you got muscles like I do? So we've got that one stacked there. I just need to go and see if we are loading this up from inside here. There we go. Unfortunately, it doesn't. You're not able to manually load these. That's the one thing I wish we could do. But right now, you can see we are all fully loaded up. At this stage, so far, we've re-greased all of the points on the baler. It's a brand new baler, so it's very clean. It didn't need a lot of grease at all. There is an automated greasing system on this baler, so we essentially just need to make sure that the reservoir is fully stocked, and that there's only a few minor points that the reservoir won't do itself. So it's all been checked over. It's all in good condition here. It's all immaculate, as you can see. Inside here, it's all looking perfect. So we're pretty much ready to go, really, as far as this is concerned. So what we do need to do is, unfortunately, just sit and wait for the weather to, or the grass to grow a little bit more. We're waiting on a rake to come in and a tedder. We don't have those yet. We're waiting for delivery so we're able to do something with those. But as soon as they arrive, then we'll go and pick them up and we'll be able to proceed. But for right now, the baler's done. We're just going to fold it all up, and then we'll be able to move on. Go back around the other side. Okay, so that is all being folded up there. What we do need to do as well is we're going to service the tractor while it's here. So we're going to change the oil on the tractor and grease that all over. It's been a while since it was last done, and it's had a busy spring and all the work on there. So we don't need a John Deere for this. So we'll just pull this out the way. And then where can we stick this? Down that corner again. For now, we're just going to put the tractor and trailer around here. Oh, watch those oil cans. Wasn't quite tight enough. Hug that gate post, we should get round. Maybe hugged it a little bit too tight there. Never mind, we'll straighten up here. So we'll leave the tractor hooked up here because we are going to have to put these balls of twine inside. I don't want to leave them outside at all. But we'll leave this out the way here for now. And we'll head back on into the workshop and we'll get this all serviced up. So we just need to maintain this, so it's left Alt and R. 4,274 pounds for an oil change, filter change. That's a lot of money. But it's serviced, it's good to go. So we can leave that there. We also just need to... Excellent stuff. So, that's the next thing done off our list. What we need to go over and do now, we're just going to... we've got some office work to do today, some paperwork and some updating of our... stock management. Now, what I would suggest, well, I will say before I forget, the Lometri rollers here, they've been on this yard for a while, and so I rang up the dealer the other day to have a chat with him about these, and because he's an ex-demonstrator, he said the price would be able to get a good discount on these. So he came up to the yard and had a look at our rollers that we had here and gave me a great offer to trade them in. So as a result of that, we now actually own these. I had to spend about £10,000 to pay the difference, really, which is great. So a nice wider set of rollers. Our rollers have gone. We've still got a heavier cultivator over there as well, but we're now opting to use a slightly wider set of rollers, which is good news. We have the combine in here as well, which it won't be too long until we'll be looking to bring this guy out of the shed. Can't wait for that. But for now, we're going to jump on up into the Massey. As you can see here, the field's done all but the headlands, so we're going to crack on and just finish the headlands up now. It won't take us too long to do. So we're going to just start down this side here, and then we'll work our way up the hedge line and up to the other side there. So it won't take too long at all. So in most cases, I always start when I'm ploughing my headlands. I always start ploughing from inside to the hedge line. But because last time round I ploughed this field from the inside to the hedge line, we've got a furrow line working up along the edge of the field here, which is why we're now going from out to in. But so far this field's been able to turn over very easily, very light and dry field. We're just going to leave it with kind of, it's not even winter now, I guess spring ploughed now for the foreseeable. And by doing that, it's just going to allow us to have, let the natural weather conditions break down the soil a little bit more, and allow us for an easier working over when we do come to drill this in the fall. This will probably be going straight into oilseed rape, I do believe. So we'll get onto that as soon as we can. Okay, then. Back up we go. So what I might do at this point here, because it can be a bit of a slow task, is we'll get a time lapse going so you guys can watch a bit of ploughing, and then we'll come back to you when we're about to finish up. What's going on, everybody? We are just about done. Oh, get up that hill. And we are just going to finish up this little bit of trash here that hasn't quite been ploughed over. And then we're going to lift our plough up and we're going to head back on up to the field. Oh, there's another bit there. I don't know how that bit didn't quite bury itself, but we'll make sure it gets done here. And we are done with the plough. Finally done with cultivation for spring. Which is good news. So what we're going to do now, we're going to take this tractor back up to the yard there. We'll probably wash the plough down and put it straight into the shed. There's a few wearing metals on here that we're going to have to change in the near future. Or certainly before we begin in the autumn. But for now, we're just going to wash it all down and put it away under a shelter somewhere. Other than that, we're in good place to go. The tractor will get a once over as well to make sure that's working okay before I believe we're going to stick this one onto the mowers, so it's going to be needed pretty quickly. So we'll get that ready, and now we've actually, like was mentioned, we're going to go do some paperwork for our land management, make sure everything is up to date there, get our field management systems all refreshed and updated, make sure that they're ringing true and reflecting what we've actually got on the ground at the moment. So that's always going to be a busy task. Okay, so we're going to find a place to stick this. I suppose it could go just there. That'll do. But first things first, we'll give it a quick wash down, and the tractor as well. Nothing like seeing a nice clean machine. Okie dokie, so now we're just... where can we stick it? No, we need to get the spinner out soon. We'll go back around the corner, I think. I'm going to take that gate post with me. Okay, so we'll stick this into here. It's as good as place as any. Let's lower it down. Out we go, and we'll just get this unhooked. Lovely stuff. So with that being said, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to park up the Massey. And then we are, like I mentioned earlier, we're going to have to go and do a little bit of paperwork in the office here. So I'm going to park this up, and I'll come back to you when I'm in front of my computer screen. We'll see you in a bit. Alright then guys, I made it back inside the office, got myself a cup of coffee, and we are just finishing up our crop management, field management at the moment. So these are all of our fields, as we may have discussed previously. This is how we keep a track of our crop rotation on an annual basis, on an annual cycle. At the moment, you can see that we have almost filled everything in here. We've almost populated all of the field data. We've just got a few fields left to do, which are down on the south side of River Rock Farm, on the hill there. So if you look at fields 60, 61, 62, they were all drilled in winter wheat last season, and then this we planted them in the spring. We've put them into spring barley. So at this stage, if you look now, we're kind of at crop cycle number 4. It would either be sugar beet or spring barley. So we've gone for the barley. So we just need to put into here spring barley. Copy that down. Put that in there as well. Spring barley, lovely stuff. At the moment, they've all had one application of fertilizer. We do come in and adjust this after each application. So there's at least another one, maybe two, depending upon the growing conditions. Field 77 has also been put into spring barley, so we can put that into spring barley. It's had one application of pre-emergence at the moment. Change that to the middle. The grassland has all been changed at the moment. Next year we're going to be doing a lot of reseeding of our grass. We have a lot of fields that have probably been in the grass in the current situ for about 3 or 4 seasons. Some of the new grassland we acquired as well really wants to be reseeded, just to get it some new seeds in there, a bit of rejuvenation, just to allow it to progress. And the only other field at the bottom here is field 87 that we've left winter ploughed as well this year, so there's nothing else new in there. That said, though, at the moment we're all looking up to date. Everything is nice and refreshed here, so we're in a good position where we can just keep on top of everything now. I prefer to keep on top of all my records as they are now, rather than continuously having to come back to them and then or leaving it to the last minute, really, when things get out of hand. As you can see at the moment, we do have a lot of spring barley and spring wheat. All of those fields will be baled. We'll be looking to produce as much straw as we can for the straw facility. Now, we may be at some point struggling to accommodate all that straw and keep it dry. The straw facility itself will require relatively dry ground for us to be able to house and store those the straw before it gets processed. So I am keeping my eyes open to see if I can find a second hand or a used structure somewhere, like an old hay barn or Dutch barn or something we can put into some of our fields, or around some of our fields, perhaps in a cluster around Little Woolhope, just to provide some added storage. But for now at least, that's nothing. It's nothing that's going to be immediately resolved. We're going to keep an eye on it and see what we can do. At this stage, though, I'm going to call it a day here. Thank you very much for watching, as always. I hope you have enjoyed. If you have, please do remember to hit that like button and smash that subscribe button. And do leave a comment below with any feedback you may have as well. I'd love to hear what you think and where you're watching this from. Until next time, thank you very much. Stay safe, but as always, most importantly, happy farming.